The current state of Destiny 2 is possibly the worst it's ever been. And this is my feelings about the current state of Destiny 2. And I think it's even worse than Curse of Osiris. So hear me out. Now, I already know that I'm going to get comments of people saying this is a doom and gloom kind of video, rage bait. You're just doing negative engagement for Destiny 2 hate or whatever it is. But I am being genuine when I say that I have not been really having a lot of faith in Destiny 2's future right now, especially with how Bungie has been responding with a lot of things recently. And yes, they've fixed a lot of things, but a lot of those issues should have never happened in the first place if they ever wrote down on a piece of stone of ancient times of Destiny on what to not do and what to do for Destiny, like feedback that we've given them for a very, very long time. And on top of that, just a lot of poor feedback on reasoning, like their excuses on why they can't do this and why they can't do that. Like there's always a reason that Bungie can't do certain things. And when it came to Curse of Osiris, when they were with Activision, I at least had the faith that they would be able to fix Destiny 2 at, vanilla Destiny 2 during Curse of Osiris when everything was really, really bad then. I knew that their very first expansion could possibly fix everything and be like a Taken King 2.0. And surprise, we got Forsaken. And that's exactly why I still play Destiny 2 even during that time. Like during Curse of Osiris, I still was playing at least a decent amount every week. When it comes to Destiny 2 now, I'm barely even playing sometimes in a month. It's just, I don't have any sort of faith in where this future is going because it's a snail's pace on what I guess Bungie's vision is for Destiny's future, which some of the things I will talk about, like where I see the vision, but the execution of what Bungie's trying to do is just very poorly done. One of my main complaints from Destiny 2's past is the DCV, where it stripped away a lot of things that would normally build upon Destiny. And that's the main thing, is I wanted Destiny 2 overall to continue to grow and its foundation to continue to be better. Like going back to things that they originally made maybe like during Destiny 2 launch, but are like, you know what, let's go back to this thing and really revamp it. Like Patrol is a good example where I've talked about that. And now it's just like a lot of things that they're focusing on. It makes no sense. They're focused on the portal, and the concept of the portal is good for players that just want to get on the game, do activities, get the loot, get their power grinds going and whatever. And they know that there's a specific menu that will help them do that. But with that, just pretty much made the destination menu obsolete. There is literally no reason to do anything on the destination map as of right now. And Bungie hears us, we're listening, but just like a lot of things that they've been getting feedback for many years, I just don't feel like they're really going to do much, at least anything that would be a huge impact, because we're in a situation where it's like, yeah, you really need to turn this into essentially a Destiny 3 or a Forsaken of content or fixes, enhances, whatever it could be. Because the main problem I'm having is majority of the content inside of Destiny 2 is now sunsetted. It's still in the game, you can still play it, but there is pretty much no reason to go and do those activities. They don't help you with your power grinds. There's no tier 5 loot to them. like no updated tier 5 like, you know, weapons or armor for any of these like dungeons, raids. We have so many weapons that we've acquired through the years since Destiny 2's launch, and like 90% of those weapons are now completely obsolete in the new meta, the new systems, and Bungie is at a snail's pace on trying to get those things into the portal or make them relevant into this new system that would pretty much act like a Destiny 3, because if we did get a Destiny 3, I would assume we would get these like tier 5 systems, this portal menu, whatever. But majority of the content that's inside the portal is old content. And any of the new content just doesn't feel as engaging as a lot of stuff used to be. You have this very troubling like modifier system that makes finding fire teams through the fire team finder a lot more tedious, because some of these modifiers require you to use very specific loadouts, and with that leads to a lot of waiting till you're actually getting in the game. And one of the big things that Destiny has had issues with is just too much waiting. And now it's like quadruple on waiting to try and play the game so then you can get the loot and so on. And then you have like this tier 5 system where it's supposed to make us stronger. Now we have tier 5 armor, and we can get stats that up to like 200, and we're going to change the stats. And don't get me wrong, I love a lot of these changes because some of the builds are really, really fun to play with. And I honestly, that's the main thing that keeps making me go back to Destiny is the gameplay and making builds. But then when I have to do something to earn the A+ ranking, I have to be at like minus 40 or 50 or higher in power, where it almost feels like we got bamboozled on being told that we would be stronger because of these tier 5 loot systems, and instead it feels like they basically were like, okay, you know, we're gonna give you a rocket launcher now when originally you just had a pistol. It's gonna do a lot of damage compared to the pistol, so yeah. But instead of your target being a piece of cardboard in front of you, it's going to be a giant metal steel door. Like, it just, you don't feel like it's the same experience from before, but we're better, we're stronger. Other than like cooldowns and stuff, I'm not feeling it too much. If anything, I'm feeling it the most in PvP with how broken things are. And I saw that coming a mile away, and PvP is just probably in one of the worst states it's been in a while since like Stasis. And yeah, you have Bungie doing horrible decisions with the Eververse store, where it's this goes back to where I stated that they would learn from feedback, or they would say things and now it makes no sense. It's like you're calling yourself out. Do you remember when Joe Blackburn was lead for Destiny, and one of the biggest problems that players were having was the vendors? The armor sets would not refresh. It was the same stuff, the same armor for a long time. And their response was, well, dev work for making armor is very tough. It's for us, small studio, it's very tough to make armor. And with that response, they were like, okay, sorry, we get that. We'll fix that. And then now you have like 5 Eververse sets for a season. Like, it used to be like you get one for the season or expansion, and then a second one for whatever the event is at the time, like the holiday season thing event. Now we're getting so much. Everything is like heightened in the Eververse store. And I normally don't mind that because it's an optional area, but it's doing good for the community on not making it so obvious that you're being greedy. You're looking for any possible way to benefit your studio pockets versus the morale of the community, which they ran into the recent issue where the Iron Banner set they've stated was going to be brand new, and it was just a reskin D2 vanilla set like literally with a different shader, it's the same thing, to then find out that there was concept art for the Eververse armor sets basically being the Iron Banner sets. It was not even an assumption. It clearly was, especially when you take the statement of brand new Iron Banner armor. And mind you, Iron Banner has been on a wait. Like, oh, we got to work on it. We got to fix it. All they did was, well, essentially at first they were going to just have the Iron Banner armor be a reskin. They only have one new weapon, and it's not even that good of a weapon, and it's a reprised weapon. And the Iron Banner experience is still the same, except worse with a lot of these metas that are happening right now that are really not that fun for a lot of players. This is what I'm talking about. Like, it's... What have you been doing? At this point, I feel like the layoffs pretty much just made every team that does anything for Destiny almost empty. Or it's just one person. Like, I have no clue. But this is unacceptable. And then most of the new content for Ash and Iron is old content going in the portal. And it's not even in a good way. Like, they have some of the parts from certain dungeons, but the loot that's inside is not from the dungeon. It's still the Pinnacle Ops loot. Like, we don't have exclusive, like, Nightfall weapons anymore. We don't have the Grandmaster experience like we did before. Like, there's none of that. Like, as another example, like, we're running into this horrible system of Portal right now where I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't. And I mean, it's crazy to me that it's taking this long to fix power grinds. It's been... I didn't even go into the bugs. There's so many bugs. There's some fun and funny ones, but there's also been a lot of bad ones that really ruin the experience to the point where it's like, do they even have a QA team at all? Because it's really bad. And we don't get any strikes for this year at all so far. Like, I that was the one thing I noticed. Edge of Fate had not one strike at all. And now we're in Ash and Iron, and same thing. Ash and Iron's activity also, like, Bungie's was, like, really hyping it up. Oh, it's a mode that you've never seen before. It's something so unique, so innovative, and all it is literally a watered-down Nether from Heresy, but Overthrow in final shape. That's it, pretty much. It's just a glorified patrol in a way. And honestly, I wouldn't be so upset about it if it was a patrol. Like, we don't even have it as a patrol zone. Story doesn't even exist. We had one mission that was like 5 minutes. It didn't make me feel anything of hype of going into this update of story with Maya and stuff. With they attacked the tower and nobody was there, conveniently, because it's nighttime. There's been many times it's been nighttime in the tower and they're there. It doesn't look like anybody goes to sleep. So where is everybody? Where is the Vanguard? Where? Oh, just send in the Guardian? Like, heck, like, send in Tess. She's, oh no, we're gonna close the thing. So, like, it's these kind of, like, everything. It's everything. The vibe of Destiny 2 is just in such a bad spot. And it hurts to say that because I really liked Edge of Fate's story. The story was great. I did enjoy it. And I feel like Renegades will be the same. But the problem is everything else. That whole thing of trying to grow Destiny into something more because, hey, we got a foundation. Let's just, make things go on top of the foundation. But let's also rework the foundation at the same time. Oh, wait, well, there goes the foundation. Don't worry. We'll just get a stool. And then we'll try and build everything on top of that, but then everything's crumbling off. Like, it's horrible. it's a snail's pace on getting all this content into the portal. That's old content. Like, why is it taking so long to do these things? And I know I know I'm gonna be told, like, well, don't backseat dev, like, you don't understand how hard it is to be a dev. And I get it. I don't know, like, the in and outs of making things work in Destiny, but at this point, it feels like the engine is to really the blame. If you can't even get old weapons just to a tier 5 system, I'm not even expecting the armor to get to tier 5, because I get that it's going to be a little bit more work, because you got to ensure that there's like some perk system to the armors for tier 5s. But weapons, I mean, why not? And you can update the perk pools a little bit. Like, why can't we do that? Why is it taking so long? And it always goes back to, it's just a lot of greed, and just things changed when they went even just as far as back as free to play. Because I called it out where I said, once they go free to play, you're gonna hear the studio say, oh man, it's so difficult to make content for PvP. We're gonna make maybe a new map every 3 years, maybe a mode, maybe, I don't know. As long as we can figure out a way to monetize it, we'll do something. Strikes, yeah, maybe like one in the paid expansion that's like $90, pretty much the equivalent of Forsaken, which had way more content. But yeah, also we'll have dungeons, yeah, but we're gonna put a price on that. Raids, we'll just have one. Like, it's it's just a lot of the way of I understand that back then they had more studios to help them with Activision, Vicarious Visions, but like, it just goes back to the armor sets of Eververse. They told us it was way too hard to make all these sets, and now they are. Maybe that's why there's not enough other content and it's taking so long, because they're so focused on making armor. I don't know, but it's just, there's just not enough. And I'm not even asking for just pure brand new content all over the place. I even said the simplest thing to make seasons better was, for starters, making the stories a lot better than looking at a toilet bowl hologram. Like, seasons were not like the absolute worst. It's just, once again, the execution was poorly done, just like the portal right now. And I expressed the whole idea that they should add one of each category of main playlist, so a strike, a gambit map, and a PvP map for whatever theme of the season it is for each season. So then the game will grow. Like, the problem is, like, we're still playing the same things. I mean, when the portal first came out, I was playing Glassway over and over and over again, and I hated that strike. And that was where I realized that they don't even have all the strikes in the portal, and they're just gradually adding them. Again, at a snail's pace. Something needs to be done. But the problem is I normally would sit here and say, okay, next year, we're doing a Forsaken 2.0. With what we've heard from Bungie, it's impossible. Everything is, we can't. SRL is not possible. We can't do that. We can't do anything super unique for the summer events or the events in general that isn't just a gimmick, like, lazy idea, which I'm not even going to hold my breath that this 6-player activity for Festival of the Lost is going to be the most insane thing ever, because, just like I mentioned, most of those things that they're hyping up is pretty simple. And the area is probably using reused assets. I don't know. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, because I would like the events to do better. But yeah. And when it comes to the writing of Destiny, like Ash and Iron, you see the memes that the Plague Lands is just being called the lands instead of the Plague Lands, because there is no plague. Siva's dead. It's super just bland and gray. There's no color. Like, even the smelters are just dried up. Like, it's lifeless. There's no soul. And Destiny used to have that, like, you know, sci-fi, beautiful, like, aesthetic, like, and then you look at Ash and Iron, like, literally look back at Destiny 1, Rise of Iron, Plaguelands, and compare it to Destiny 2, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And, I mean, having the Vex and Cabal on the Plaguelands with nothing of the Iron Lords having any input or whatever, or something. Like, Shiro, Aphrodite, going back to maybe, like, the Iron Temple, and, oh no, like, the Elixni are looking for Siva again or something. And that's the other thing. I love how Bungie, their reasoning of Siva not being in Ash and Iron at all is because Siva is just dead. And I'm hoping that with the exotic mission that we will be bamboozled and Siva will somehow, like, be teased for the future. I don't know, but as of right now, I really think that they're this bad at writing for this entire update, because them saying, well, Siva's dead. Yeah, so was Cade. What do you mean? If anything, Siva had a better chance of coming back than Cade ever did. Because Siva is still technically, you could have, and this is their game. They can make up anything. They already did. Oryx came back. Like, oh, well, it's a memory because the Echo touched or what. It doesn't matter. Like, they have ways of making up things to pave some interesting storytelling. They can do that. It's their game. It's not real. They could say, oh, there was a something with the 9 where they are messing with us with Siva, bringing it back. Maybe like some plot line where with Outbreak perfected, like shattering, and Siva, like Siva's heart or something just awakens because of it. Just anything. Think of anything. It's mind-boggling that Ash and Iron would have been just a win. Like, at least where it would get people wanting to play if they had Siva. They focused on, like, the Iron Lords again, like trying to go after Siva, having some really epic cutscenes and stuff with it or something, story missions, the exotic mission tied to it, maybe even having Fellwinter come back, you know, in that kind of sense, you know, doing some crazy stuff like that. Because, you know, again, going back to, oh, well, they're dead. Saint 14 was too. Like, and then having Wrath of the Machine be in there as well. I even mentioned, because they were stating that the reason why Wrath of the Machine would not return is because money and work hard. Because I even called that out too before they even said it. I was like, I doubt we're going to see Wrath of the Machine because they're going to say, well, we don't have Siva coded into Destiny 2. That's too hard. It would cost money, so we can't make it free. So then I was like, well, here's the genius idea. Make an expansion that you pay for, or season, or whatever, that has Siva, and you focus on bringing Siva back. You bring back the Plaguelands, you have the Archon's Forge, you do all this nostalgia stuff to it, but you do a new spin to it, and you make it interesting. You make new weapons in the aesthetic of the Rise of Iron weapons. You have cool things, okay? That make it fresh and new, but still nostalgic. And then later in the cycle of this year of you know, expansion that you pay for, we get Wrath of the Machine for free, because they already got profit from, you know, the season or expansion or whatever that's tied to Siva, which allowed them to you know, implement the Siva enemies into Destiny 2's engine. And that also would be really cool to have, like, Siva enemies in the other activities, in Onslaught, whatever. And instead, we got what we got. This is why it's so disappointing. It's actually depressing on how horrible it's been. Heresy was a moment where I was actually wanting to get back into Destiny. I had a lot of faith in like things, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty fun. I'm enjoying this. And then again, Edge of Fate came out, and the way that they're doing things, it's been awful. And even the plot line, I'm so tired of it going nowhere, like these seasons and stuff, because they have to remove them. And that's why everything that they are doing is just not working, and it's not going to work. If it didn't work then, it's not going to work now. So I don't know what they can do. Normally I would sit here and just say, well, just add everything that's old into the portal, make everything tier 5, whatever. Like, yes, that could help the game because it would incentivize going back to old content and having fun. But I really think they need to prioritize a lot of stuff that people would really, really like. Thinking about your community over your pockets. SRL, bringing things back from the DCV possibly. Like, imagine they bring back the Red War campaign somehow, because apparently they lost it all. And they have the incentive of that being tied to the portal, or have a legend campaign, and you have exclusive like Cabal themed armor and weapons that you can get out of the Red War campaign. They bring back the Leviathan, they bring back Menagerie, they do all kinds of stuff. That's the free stuff. And then the paid stuff, sure, they continue to do what they're doing right now, but they continue to bring back that really good foundation. Because their idea of a foundation that they had, which was not finished, they broke it and replaced it with a stool, and they're trying to build things on top of it while it's falling. I have no clue why we went this route. At this point, I would not even mind not having a Bungie Destiny at all for like years, until we get a Destiny 3, or they fix everything in Destiny 2 with an updated system, an engine, dedicated servers, whatever. Because you are literally destroying all motivation for players to get on the game because of people like listening to me complain and see how bad it is. And then you have just people just playing it, seeing how bad it is, and they're like, okay, this is horrible, I don't want to come back. And it just keeps happening to the point where they're done. You really messed up because you did this, Bungie, during when Borderlands 4 is out now and Destiny Rising recently came out. So if you are somebody that likes Destiny universe stuff but don't want to play Destiny 2, there's Destiny Rising. If you're somebody that just doesn't care about Destiny at all, there's Borderlands 4. There's even older games like Warframe. Like, you can play better stuff. There's better options. Like, which sucks because I love Destiny. Like, you hear me being so frustrated, and I already know I'm gonna get those annoying comments being like, well, stop complaining. The reason why I do this is because I love Destiny. It's just whoever that's pulling the strings is way too greedy, way out of touch, tone deaf about everything when they make changes, buffs, nerfs, whatever. Like, literally all the nerfs that they recently did were specifically stuff that was usable for the raid during contest. And it's like, why? Why are we doing this? I don't know. I don't know what they can do. I don't know what they could do. The only thing they could do is something that they've told us day in, day out. It's impossible. It's impossible. We can't bring that. Oh, you want Menagerie back? Oh, we can't do that because that was during when our engine was old. You know, when we updated the lighting system a little bit. So it's completely unusable. Meanwhile, you bring back the Plaguelands and edit it to be super gray. I still can't get over that. Heck, I find it funny that they are like, oh, we can't bring Wrath of the Machine or Archon's Forge. People are already glitching out of the map and finding spots of Wrath the Machine and Archon's Forge. Like, did somebody like make that? Or are you just trying to do some trickery here? Like, it's impossible to just copy paste and then do a little bit edits to it, because why would you make barely even the beginning part of Wrath of the Machine when you can't, like, there's it's nothing there, but there is like the stuff there. Like, it's like there's platforms, the exact platforms of like Wrath of the Machine and Archon's Forge for the most part. It is more empty, but it's still weird that they have them there instead of it just being blocked off entirely. Like, there's nothing there at all. It's just a really weird decision that like somebody sat at their table and were like, let me just randomly spend, I don't know, some time of hours just to put in Archon's Forge behind this door, just so then somebody, when they no clip out of the map or whatever, they can see it. That's definitely not wasteful time, unless it's them hinting that they'll use it later, but doubt it. I thought Shield Brothers was going to return in the Dreadnought, and I thought that the Dreadnought was going to stay, and it didn't. We're going to have to wait for that to also go into the portal, including the Cool strike. They even could have did Wretched Eye with Plaguelands. I'm like, Bungie, hire someone to remaster Destiny 1. Let them do that. You know, Sony, let that IP go to somebody else to make a remaster of Destiny 1 where everything's upscaled, new graphics, you know, just classic feel, have the rotation of events again, and let us play that. And then Bungie, you fix everything. You take a couple years, you know, sit back in your computer and do something to fix this, because this is unacceptable. With how much you charge players and how much monetization is increasing as well. Like, I have no clue what is going on. I'm just so frustrated. I just, like, I don't know. Like I said, I know it's this is a very long rant, but it's a justified one, because this is real. This is something I have been feeling. Like, people been telling me, stop playing Destiny, stop doing it. I have barely been playing. If I upload a video, it's probably very old content. Heck, I still have Solstice content, video content, that I'm at this point, I'm just gonna upload and be like, there's some Destiny content, because it was at least entertaining. But I don't care about uploading anything that's fresh and new. And I used to like line up into Destiny to like a lot of these funny glitches, but I just could care less, because everything else just makes me sad. And if you're enjoying the game, don't take this as me telling you you can't enjoy it. As I mentioned, I like the game and its gameplay. I do. But a lot of these other decisions are just so bad. And I mean, I go as far back as when Menagerie, for example, where people love the whole grind, where you were able to choose your loot, and they were like, hey, we hear that you love that you love that you can attune your loot, and they still don't learn how to do that for any of these like activities. Like, yes, you have the portal where it's like, hey, here's this weapon that you can have a higher chance of getting, so there's that. But it's always like very specific things, but not everywhere. Yeah, and then I don't even go into like some of these other things that, like, when I watch the live stream, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think their version of fixing vault space is just increasing it by who knows how much. If it's only 100 slots, oh my goodness, that's ooh. And then the second part is sorting. You could sort the menu for the vault will be better. Oh my goodness, you mean something that should have been in the game since day one? I use like people use Destiny Inventory Manager, and you can do that with that. I know it's separate from Destiny, but at that point, did you need to hire them to learn how to code that into the regular vault? Because I hate looking at my vault and being like, where's this one specific hand cannon? Why can I not sort all my weapons into categories of this is the top slot, middle slot, and the heavy slot, or whatever. Like, and these are the hand cannons for the kinetic top slot. This is special. Why is it? And now you're doing it, and we don't even know if it's going to even be like that. It could be just very meh. We'll see. But it took them this long to increase vault space. Is that the only way? Is that the only thing? I hope it's not. I hope I it just was talking over them or didn't really understand what they were saying, but yikes. Yeah, I don't know with that one. Like, vault space is a huge problem right now. And no, I don't want to delete things that we grinded for many, 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 many hours that are old stuff, because I want to cherish it. I want to use it if I want to. I should be allowed to keep the things that I want to keep. Why do I have to, like, it's just not enough gaming. You gotta clean out your vault over and over and over again. It's like I said, it's just bad. It's very, very no. So yeah, I'm so frustrated. I with how I'm feeling and such, I'm feeling like, once again, this is worse than Curse of Osiris, because at least during that time I knew they could turn it around. I don't believe anything that they're saying. I mean, they hype themselves up when they mess up and then they have to revert it. And the only reason why they revert it or fix the things that were horrible is probably because they're like, oh, we have to, rather than we should. Like, I had to explain that, where it's like, think about this. You're working a job at Bungie and you hear all the feedback about the power drops. And they sat down for a day or more and to decide what to do, and they were like, yeah, let's nerf solo ops. They decided on that. A long process, because they always tell you that too. It's a long process of communication and figuring out through feedback and this and that. Nobody asked for that. Who did? Can't say Pete Parsons anymore. Like, I don't know. And everyone's blaming, like, Marathon. For me, I do at least feel like, yes, a lot of the PvP problems are because of Marathon, because a lot of those people that would normally work on PvP is most likely working on Marathon. But I don't know what's to blame. I don't care what it is to blame. Just fix it. Because this is the point where Destiny is a sinking ship, except it's already, like, technically sunk, and it's almost impossible to get the water out. It would require a miracle to get the water out, and that's why I just don't know. I don't know about the future of Destiny. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I enjoy going back to the game here and there, but I haven't been wanting to play it more than, like, one day out of the week, maybe, if I even feel like that. I played Ash and Iron, and then after that I barely ever played after that. I played for like a day for like 5 hours, and but before that it was like pretty much the same situation. Like, I just don't want to play because I don't see any future for Destiny, because everything that Bungie has stated on things is the complete opposite of what they and they do it to themselves. They tell us to expect these things. They told us to expect an amazing brand new Iron Banner, and we're gonna have it on hiatus for a bit because we're gonna change up Iron Banner, and it's the same thing but garbage. Oh, Vault Space. Yes, we hear you about Vault Space. We're gonna do something way better than just increasing Vault Space. Oh, hey. So yeah, we're just increasing Vault Space, but we are gonna add sorting. You know, because that's a really needed feature when people have been using Destiny Inventory Manager for this whole time. Oh yeah, we hear you about dungeon layers and old raids and whatever. Like they're not in the portal. We're gonna add them, and don't worry, we will, like, slowly. But we're not gonna have those weapons be tier 5 because we wanna resell that to you, not like through money, but for player incentive as new content years later, like they did with Garden of Salvation, Vault of Glass, you know, with the red border grinds. I'm being serious. I feel like that's the reason. They don't want to put everything that's old into the portal, into the tier 5 system. They want to say it's difficult at this point. I would love to just watch them, like, just have a vidoc that's like a whole day at Bungie, like them trying and explaining why these things are so difficult, why you can't just add things to tier 5, because it's pretty quick to do a lot of other things. I don't understand it, but it's just, I know, I see right through it. It's because they're like, next year they can go, guess what, everybody? Vault of Glass is back, and now you can get tier 5 loot and put modifiers and everything on it. Whoa, like that, because that's their way of, look at the Ashen Iron trailer. Like, just go back to it, and look at how much they advertise the new stuff versus the old stuff that just goes into the portal. It's awful. That is where I know. That's why it's taking so long. It's like, just give us everything soon, or at least a lot quicker than what you're doing. But as they've told us, apparently that's impossible. It's just not possible. But anyways, that's all. I know this has been a long video, but I really wanted to get that out there, because I know that my reaction with Renegades, I did see some people being like, oh, so you're hyped about this? Really? That easily? Fellas, I already said, I like Edge of Fate. I like the campaign. I could like Renegades and really enjoy playing through it as a campaign, basically treating it like a single player experience, and then never log on until they add another story. There's nothing wrong with me doing that. Like, I can still be like, yeah, I like this one part, but everything else is awful. So that was the only thing with Renegades. Everything else, I don't know. So I don't know about their future. I don't. Now, a lot of people are asking me how I'm feeling about it with the current state, with how all that I've been asked tons of questions on stream about the many things that Bungie has been doing wrong and the changes and so on. And yeah, I don't know. I know I've been saying that the whole time. I don't know. But I want to know what you think. How are you feeling about Destiny? How are you feeling? You know, are you enjoying it? Are you not? Are you even playing? Do you not care? Do you do care if it gets better? And if you believe that Destiny could get better, what would make you want to come back to Destiny? Whether it be them fixing things in Destiny 2 or just completely starting over with a Destiny 3, or like the idea that I mentioned is like, have them hire a separate studio to make a Destiny 1 remastered, and then Bungie takes like a break, not a break, but to work on fixing their version of Destiny into a Destiny 3 or something, and then yeah, we go from there. I don't know, but regardless, thank you so much for listening to me just have a frustrating time having bad feelings about Destiny. But I hope you are all having a chibi-tastic day, night, evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Chibi out.